So my wife and I play tennis at these courts over here, and I don't know what I should talk about for. I'll talk about the one dad. So it's a father coaching his daughter, and he actually, I think he just started playing tennis himself, and so he's instructing. He's like really hard on her. He's like, he doesn't know that much, and he's like, no, dude, follow through, It's like a drill instructor with her, and very tough coach, and we saw him playing a match himself with somebody, and he kept hitting it out. He was over hitting it. He wasn't doing well, but he's gonna. And one of the things that he said to her was, "How bad do you want to be number one in the world?" And I was just thinking, like, that's such an abstract, because she's like 10 or 11 years old, maybe younger. I think she's 10 or 11. That's such an abstract concept for someone, a girl, nonetheless, young girl, to be number one in the world. I mean, she might like but you think she has like in her head, like, when I was a kid, I watched all those Grand Slam tournaments, the French Open, and it was just one of many sports that I would watch. Wimbledon. I really liked tennis. We didn't have a high school team, so I didn't really pursue it further. But I play it now. I really enjoy it. But you'd have to be like really into it at that level, like, to be like a huge Serena, maybe idolize someone and want to. And I don't know how many young girls are doing that. So the fact that she would have in her head to be number one in the world. I mean, maybe I'm sure obviously he has it in his head. But the ironic thing is, there's another kid there. There's a 7-year-old kid who, I don't know if it's ironic. It's interesting. And his father's like very good. They're from Bulgaria, and the kid is literally number one in the world for his age group, for 7 years old. But it's because the father is like pushing him. It's like what he should say to the girls: "I want you to be number one in the world. You got to do this, or you're gonna get beaten or something." I just thought it was a weird thing to say to a little kid. Because you might have dreams of people don't understand how difficult it is to become like a professional. And I started thinking about this when I was in high school. It's so the NBA. I liked basketball, and my hope was to play college basketball, and it didn't. I didn't even play I actually didn't even play my senior year of high school because I didn't like the coach. But so, you have 30 teams times 12 guys on a team, that's 360 players. And it used to be you could just basically say the United States, there were some foreign players, but now it's the entire world. It's it's impossible. And especially with the end, you might start seeing this in tennis more too. But with the NBA, you have to have some crazy athleticism. Like even John Stockton, always a white guy. Even John Stockton had unbelievable speed, because it's the only thing that's going to separate you from the other people, because there's so much skill. Is some either being very tall, unbelievable speed, being able to jump extremely high. Agility. But I think tennis is still a sport. It hasn't been taken over because it's easy to make mistakes in tennis. So it's like with basketball, you've got to, or you can do some things with raw athleticism. I guess Shaquille, I wanted to use Shaquille O'Neal as an example, but he has size too. That's what benefits him. But he was a great athlete. So you can kind of just do things with athletic. You can kind of force your will on people without having the skill. Tennis, there has to be skill there. You have to have all the fundamentals. Or you're going to make mistakes. But I predict that tennis you're going to start seeing more crazy athletes in tennis. You're going to see you're going to see white people getting pushed out a little bit. They're still going to be there, but they're going to start getting pushed out a little bit. But it is a sport that you have to get to them very young, because they have to be playing for 10, 15 years before they get into their prime. That's how difficult it is. With basketball, you could take a 6'10" guy, and he could still have a huge impact on just rebounding and just getting little layups and inside stuff. Teach him a couple moves. That's basically the difference between it. I don't know how I got off on that tangent. Appreciate you. Shouldn't you be at McDonald's right now? How you doing?
Huh? Hey.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. I actually recognize you. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I see you at McDonald's from time to time.
Yeah, I've been going over there for 30 years. Can't stop now. I got real old.
You look good. You're in your 80s, right?
I don't feel good. My whole body's weak. I only weigh about 100.
You look great.
My normal weight's 165.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
But I've had pneumonia, open heart surgery, and all this crap, that kind of knocks the wind out of you, and you start babying yourself, and I don't do all the exercises I used to, and I get a little pain.
I weigh 219, and my wife is like, you better not lose any more weight. 219, that's I'm overweight. Technically, I'm on the verge of being obese. What?
You don't exercise.
I do. I exercise.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have that gut on if you did.
I do.
Good exercise.
Oh, I do like the most strenuous exercise you could imagine.
You do stomach exercises and all that stuff?
Yeah. It's just...
How long? 10 years in a row?
Oh, yes. Yeah. So I turned 35 years old, and I just started gaining weight like crazy. Seriously.
Oh, just recently?
Yeah, like over the last 3 years.
Well, you know what that is. It's really simple. All the diets smell like crap. Eating with certain... It's the amount of food you're eating, the calories you're eating, whether it's good or bad food. That's what makes the difference.
Sometimes I go an entire day without eating.
Huh?
Sometimes I won't eat for an entire day.
Yeah, but that's kind of weird. You don't need to do that. You just need to cut your calories down to about 1,200 a day instead of 2,200. Or,
I think I think
calories.
It's genetic. I think it's genetic, and I have bad genes, and my metabolism is starting to slow down beyond recognition. That's what I think.
It's an easy way to bail out. And I'm not saying I do it.
I was the same way. I would look at these fat people, and I would be like, why don't they exercise? I'm telling you from firsthand experience. Believe me.
But they don't. They're not vigorous, and they don't move. I still, even though I've got mental problems too, memory and all that stuff.
I run a mile every day.
That's good.
Please hit a thumbs up even though you hate the video. Please share the video even though it sucks. Please subscribe and donate to the channel on the PayPal button. Even $1 helps.